All right, welcome back to Nail Talk. Oh, no, that's not what we are. We did that for a little bit. I think it's funny. I'm T.
I'm E.
Welcome back to the T Podcast. Evelyn spent the last, hour or so walking around the house in a tank top. And then now she's cold. And so instead of putting a shirt on, wraps herself in a blanket.
And what about it?
Nothing about it. It's just funny that you came and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm going to wrap myself in a blanket. I put on a shirt.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever's right. How you doing?
Good.
What's new with you? What's happening? Since the last time we saw the audience here? Loyal
not much.
listeners, watchers. Okay. It's good.
Yeah, really nothing.
I'm going to let you take control.
Exciting. What's new with you, Dad?
I don't know. The family's had a lot of interesting things. Your younger siblings have a busy week.
Oh, yes?
They got stuff going on.
Oh, yes.
They have different contests at school every day this week.
Oh, yeah.
We had a geography bee in which they answered all kinds of questions. And your brother won.
Yes,
He's the
he did.
school champion. He beat the older kids. He beat the younger kids. He beat the same age kids. He beat them all. So
First
that
place.
was cool. First place, yeah. Your sister's in the spelling bee. Maya is going to compete tomorrow in the spelling bee. And then Isaac will do the religion one on Friday. So my question for you is, that's other people. What do you remember about those contests when you were in school?
I was
Spelling bee, GOB.
I was in only the spelling bee every time.
Okay. I feel like
And I usually did.
is-
And
Yeah,
I
it's a
usually
little
did pretty good, but I never won. Which
Okay.
I don't
Well,
care.
yeah, not very many people
I
win.
remember once I
It's
was
not-
in like the last
Right? Yeah.
5 people.
I was
or
going to say, I
something.
remember you doing very, very well, at least a couple of times.
Yep.
So you're an excellent speller, which was proven by our practice spelling bee upstairs, in which you housed your mom. You dominated her.
I did. Mom purposefully got one of them.
I don't
right
think so.
Wrong.
I don't think so. It's hard. When you're not used to it, when you don't do it and you're asked to spell something out loud, it's sometimes awkward.
I still don't know how to spell maintenance.
Maintenance. Maintenance. Maintenance.
Yeah, I still don't know.
That's it. That's maintenance. I was a very, very good speller. I have a ridiculously awful spelling story. I probably told
Oh yeah,
you.
you told me you made it to like something like some really big one,
Yeah,
and then
I'm not sure it was really big, but it was big-ish. It was outside of the school. We had to travel to someplace, to a mall, someplace. I think I remember where the mall is, but maybe not. I was little. I was third grade. I was third grade. And I made it through the school spelling bee, and then I went to some other spelling bee. And I got up on stage, and the word was add, and I spelled the word add wrong, and I was out of the contest on the I think it was the very first word. It was the very first word. I might have been the very first contestant with the very first word in the whole contest. And I was out, and that was it. And I knew how to spell add.
ADD.
Yeah, but not if you say add, AD add. That's not spelling add correctly.
It's not.
Yeah, so that's my spelling bee. And then I did intentionally lose in the spelling bee 1 year because I just did not want to. But that was in 5th grade. That was when I was in Mr. Mako's class. He gave me a hard time about it. He did. All right, so those are bees. You're going to play softball this spring. That's the word on the street. Word going around is, Miss, I played softball one time in the summer when I was, how old were you?
I was really young.
You were
I think
really
I was
young.
2nd grade, and I would cry at like every
You
practice
did
because I
not.
hated it.
You didn't cry.
You
didn't
And
cry.
also, one of the practices, I got hit in the face with a softball
You
because
might have.
I stood there and I was just like,
So the problem was,
And
it wasn't
then
a problem,
it was-
but the issue was, 2 issues, first of all. You were in the league in which it was the age groups where you were the youngest age group, And there were the older
I
kids.
was the youngest one.
You were the very youngest one. And Alexis was on your team. You two were together, right? She's a junior in high school. You're an 8th grader. So, we got a gap here in which there was a wide spread. Not only that, but when you were that age, you were tiny. You were tiny. Your legs were this big and your waist was this big, right? And so for you playing with those older girls, and it was overwhelming. You were this tall when you went up to bat, your helmet didn't fit, all those things. So that's the only time you played softball, and now you're going to hit it in 8th grade. You're going for it. I'm all for it. I'm in full support. I'm going to get the gloves out, and we're going to practice a little.
Then I'm joining Alexis in golf in the fall, too.
Yes. That is a wise decision. You will never regret learning to play golf and golfing every afternoon with your friends in high school. Like, if I could go back in time, I would go on the golf team. And I would play with Matt and Teddy and all those guys on the golf team. Yeah. I would be terrible and I would finish last.
I know. I'm probably not going to be good, but I don't really care.
Yeah, you don't have to be. You don't have to be. There's no reason that you should expect to shoot 110.
Like Alexis.
Yeah, well, she's in the 90s, but she's also been playing a couple of years now. Yeah, you should really be going 140. Okay. Seriously.
I don't even know.
Seriously. Yeah. Anyway, so softball, cool. What? So anything? Any other projects you got going on?
Not really. I mean, every few weeks I have yearbook club. I think I've already mentioned that.
Yearbook.
Yeah.
That'll be cool. That'll be a big reveal when your yearbook design and your pages that you've been doing and working on and all those.
I walk around to school with a camera sometimes.
Yeah. Do you get yourself a little hat with a press sticker on it? You should do that.
No, but I have a press pass.
Oh my gosh. You should get that. Would be great. You'd get yourself in the yearbook by doing that as you take pictures of the yearbook. It's really meta.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, speaking of books, my book project's going well. I did a New Year's resolution. You remember that? I don't think I've mentioned this on the podcast.
No, you haven't mentioned it to me.
I haven't mentioned it to a whole bunch of people. It's not a thing. It helps a little bit if other people know, so they can kind of push you, encourage you. I'm reading 50 books this year. I'm going to read 50 books.
I read like 6 books a year, so good job.
You could read 50 if you wanted. Everybody could if they wanted. It's not that difficult. So I'm reading 50 books. I think I'm on book number 9.
Well, wonderful.
I've been rocking and rolling, right? I got the list and I've been writing small
reading
reviews.
Today.
Yeah. I got 2 books going on currently because I got like 20 pages left on one. And so I picked up another one from the library and I didn't have the one with me. I only had the other one. So now I'm 60 pages into the second one without doing the...
I haven't even read half a book this year. Actually, I'm halfway through it. And I started right in the new year. Yeah.
So far the best book has been Recursion by Blake Crouch. And anybody who likes even just a little bit of science fiction, but mostly if you like science, if you like The Martian, or you like that one, right? Those kind of stories, Recursion is fantastic. Wonderful. Reads super fast. Appropriate for all ages, by the way. If you want anybody who's listening, you got a middle schooler on up to, I thought it's one of my favorite books I've read in a long time. That would be the best one. The worst one was the 3rd Dune book. I'd had enough of Dune by the time I got to the 3rd one. Yeah, I was ready to go to a different planet. A lot of sand there. So, the only other thing I got on my list to talk about is vaccines. Vaccines are rocking and rolling.
When are you getting yours, Dad?
I don't know. So I'm on list 1B in Wisconsin. So at the moment, they're saying March 1st. I'm hoping it's sooner, but that's not that long. That's 3.5 weeks. Soon. There's light at the end of the tunnel there.
Good.
But Grandma and Grandpa both got their first vaccine. It's amazing. Guess who else got their first vaccine today?
Who?
Angela Angela
Really?
got the vaccine today. She did. She's in phase 1.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's great.
Mom's got both of her. She
Mom's
is.
got 'em
She
in.
is COVID safe.
Well,
Pretty much.
Well,
And she just read today that she can't give it to other people.
No, that's a different vaccine that people are working on that she's excited about
Oh.
that would help prevent the spread as well. It's not the kind I don't think so. She's talking about something else.
Interesting.
Watch anything good lately?
I just started a new show. It's on Netflix. I think it's
Okay,
new.
you're all done with all Criminal Minds. You made it through all 826 episodes spanning 23 years and 4 spin-offs.
No, that is a show that I just watch sometimes because there's a lot of Criminal Minds episodes, and you can like watch them like out of order and stuff, and like it's like each individual episode is a new mystery, so that one's fine to like put off for a while. Anyways, I'm watching a new show on Netflix. I forget what it's called. I know it's a guy's name and Mia. It's something and Mia. And it's about
Marley and Mia.
No, it's a guy and a girl, and they both have cancer.
Why couldn't Marley be the guy and Mia be the girl? Marley and Mia.
I don't know.
Okay.
I've never heard anyone named Marley. Anyways,
You've never seen. God, why can't I think of the name of it? Because it's the Christmas Story. It's Bob Cratchit and Scrooge and what's the name? Christmas Carol.
Oh,
A Christmas Carol. A Christmas Carol. The ghost is Marley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right. I think it's the last name. I think Marley's the last name of the ghost in
I don't know,
Christmas
but I
Carol,
remember that.
but yeah, that's Marley. All right.
And yeah, and I've only watched an episode of it, but I think I'm gonna keep watching it because it's pretty good. So.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Something in Mia. Recommend Something in Mia to people. Right. I watched a movie. It was called I, Tonya. And I thought the rest of the family should, well, not. It's not. There are parts of it that are inappropriate. But I think you and Alexis would really enjoy I, Tonya because I don't think you know the story.
Of what?
And I feel like maybe I even talked about this on the podcast because I was going to watch it, maybe not. So there's these two figure skaters, Nancy Kerrigan and Tonya Harding, and they were kind of rivals, kind of. Movie goes into some more depth of parts of the story I didn't know, I had no idea about. But it tells the story of these two figure skaters. And what happened was one day one of the figure skaters comes walking out of practice, and there's somebody standing there with a pipe, like a pipe, like it was a baton, like that a police officer would use,
Yeah.
and whacked her in the knee.
Oh.
Whacked her in the knee to take her out, take out the competition, get rid of her. Now she can't skate. Aha!
I have another thing to talk about.
Okay, go for it, because that's about it.
Oh.
But the movie was like sort of a documentary about it, but it certainly only told the story from one side, and it mentions a couple of times that that's what it is, but it's super well done. And anybody who is interested in sports and remembers the Nancy Kerrigan, Tonya Harding thing, you should watch I, Tonya. It's got all kinds of actors that you know. Margot Robbie plays Tonya Harding, and you won't believe that it's her. So, okay, what do you got?
I also had a sleepover with my friend, and we watched
Oh, right, Something Monday.
What Happened to Monday on Netflix, and that movie was so good. It was so cool. I don't know.
Give me a quick synopsis. Tell me what the story is.
It was where the world was super overpopulated. So then
It's like a future movie? Okay.
And so then so there was this thing where they tried to stop it, and
Tried to stop people from having babies?
well, no, they tried to, I don't know what happened, but it was something where like every time someone would get pregnant, they would have multiple children at once. Like there would be so many triplets and like twins and quadruplets. And so then the rule was that you could keep one baby and the rest of the babies would go into this thing called cryo sleep, where they would sleep for so long And then when they would wake up, they'd be like the same age and blah, blah. And then they'd like live in the future or whatever.
Sounds awesome. Sounds like something
To
I'd
cause
love.
the population. And then there's these septuplets. Is that how you say it?
Depends on how many.
There were
there are.
7 of them.
Okay, yeah.
There were 7 of them. And
I think that's
they
okay.
went into hiding, and the dad or the grandpa kept all of them because their mom died, but then he
Sure.
took them into hiding. And then they would all go by their mom's name, and they're named the days of the week. So there's
Mhm.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And they would all go out as one name, and they would go out on one day of the week, and they'd all be the same exact person because they're all girls and they're identical. And then things happen, and it's really cool. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it does. It sounds awesome. Sounds like I'd love it.
I think
So there's a
people
movie
would
that's
like
the opposite of this that is really good. And I think it like won all kinds of awards. And if nobody's watched this one, it's called Children of Men.
Mhm.
Have you heard of this movie?
No.
Children of Men. You should watch Children of Men. I'm going to write it down for you right here.
Okay.
It is, I think the one that you watched had a little bit of teen or young adult aim, right? Like it's,
Yeah. I would
yeah.
say.
Okay, so this is definitely an adult movie.
Mhm.
Okay, it might be rated R, but only because there might be some language and a little bit of violence in it. It would be what I would call an accessible R.
Mhm.
You'd be fine watching. So, Children of Men, it's amazing. That's a great movie.
Cool.
Okay, are we ready for some questions?
Yeah.
I got questions from somebody this week. You see if you can guess who the questions came from as we go through them.
Okay.
Okay, after each question, I'll ask if you know.
Okay.
All right. I am guessing you will not know it until number 3,
Okay.
and then you'll know. All right, ready? Question number 1. Mozart or Beethoven? 1v1, who you got? That's the question. Mozart or Beethoven?
We literally just did this in choir. We're learning about
Oh,
all the
you did?
composers.
Okay, so tell me what you know, what you think. Because I know very little. The only part I know is going to tell you what my thought is on the answer, because I don't really know the music very well.
Probably Mozart. I don't know. I don't
Okay,
really
how come?
like that. I just like his music better, I guess. I don't really know.
So I know Mozart a little bit because I was in Austria, and Mozart is Austrian.
Oh.
Okay, so this is what I know about Mozart. I know Mozart is older than Beethoven. I don't think like much older, like maybe 20 years older or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in between 10, 20 years maybe. I'm going to go with 20 years. 20 years older. And that they met, and Beethoven was inspired by and used a lot of the ideas that Mozart had come up with. So I've always been on the side of Mozart because I'm like, well, he's the original. Beethoven was learning from him and using the ideas of him. So I'm a Mozart guy.
Cool.
I guess that's my answer. Who do you think asked those questions?
I don't know.
Got a guess? Got any guess?
No.
Okay, second question. Very good. So you're Beethoven, we're both Mozart.
Yeah.
Mozart rules. Your favorite Greek or Roman god? Your favorite god or goddess?
I don't know any.
You don't know any? Sure you do. You've watched Disney movies.
Oh.
Disney movies have Greek and Roman gods in them.
Right,
In fact, there's
okay.
one that has, I think it's nothing but.
Okay. Well, I don't know any. I'm sure if I would hear a couple names that I'd remember.
What
so-
about Zeus?
Oh, yeah.
What about Poseidon?
Oh.
What about Hercules? Not exactly. People have criticized some of my choices here. We're being lenient with the definitions, okay?
I literally know nothing about them, so I
Okay,
don't...
what about, that's not necessarily Greek or Roman, but you've seen Moana. There are a couple of
Make way, Moana. Yeah.
Hey, Hey, that's what I remember
That's
from
the
Moana.
chicken.
I know.
Mhm.
Hey, rocks. Okay, so you don't really have a favorite then if you can't really name any.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, I like Hades. Do you know Hades? Hades is like
I've heard
god
of the
of the
name.
underworld.
I've heard of like all the names, but I
Yeah.
don't really know anything like much about them.
Yeah, so I like Hades. Hades is like god of the underworld. I always love the stories of the underworld, both Greek and Roman, right? Depends on which one you're looking at. They're very similar, have similar themes and ideas, but there's the underworld and the guard of the underworld. There's the river Styx, and there's Sharon who rows you across, and you got to pay the piper, you got to pay the price to get across. I don't know, I always like that story. I'm a Hades kind of guy. Right on, Hades. In that movie Hercules, that's a Disney movie that has, I think it's just nothing but Greek and Roman gods in it. I think Hades is the big bad guy.
Oh.
I think so.
Yeah.
A little misunderstood if you ask me.
I don't even remember if I've watched Hercules. I
So
might have.
Alexis
super
loves
long ago.
Hercules.
Yeah.
So I've kind of seen it. I never sat down and watched it, but I know she's watched it a bunch of times.
Yeah.
So, okay. A follow-up question to that would be your favorite mythological creature. Okay, so now these you know some of.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think mermaids are super scary.
Mermaids.
Scary. No, I don't like them.
Okay, I watched a movie not that long ago called The Lighthouse. The Lighthouse sort of has mermaids in it, legit scary mermaids.
Yeah, like if you like see like if you like make mermaids so pretty and stuff, but like if you look up like real mermaids, like they'll like make the pictures so scary.
Yeah.
They're really scary. Like look up pictures of them if you haven't seen that. It's so
When I was
scary.
your age, there was a very popular movie that had Tom Hanks in it. You know Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Castaway.
Yeah.
He's the guy in Castaway. He's also Woody.
That's where I always remember him from.
Yeah, Woody in Toy Story, and he does all kinds. He's won Best Actor and all kinds. Saving Private Ryan, all kinds of. You've never seen that one though, but anyway, he was in a movie called Splash, and the idea was there was a mermaid, a legit mermaid. I think she was in New York City. It was Daryl Hannah, was who the mermaid was. And so when I think of a mermaid, that's what I think of. I think of the movie Splash, and that would be what you would consider like a beautiful mermaid. She was like mostly human, and
Yeah.
beautiful mermaid. Not like some of the stories were mermaids. When we were in Costa Rica, do you remember that mermaid? Man, that just snapped into my head. That was a cool thing.
That was cool.
So there's this mermaid statue. There's this really huge, awesome statue. And when it's low tide, you can walk out and you can climb up on the mermaid statue. You can go around in the tide pools and get the little urchins.
And then when it's higher tide, doesn't it like look like it's like floating in the water?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is she looks perfectly like she's just sitting on top of the water on high tide.
Pretty
So
cool.
it is way cool the way that's designed. It was.
I remember going there.
Mhm.
I actually saw a video the other day of when we were there. It was
Oh,
of
like a
Alexis
cop
and
them?
Trevor going.
It sounds like Alexis and Trevor in Costa Rica. It does. Yeah. Okay, so guesses on who gave the questions now.
I still don't know.
You have no guesses.
No guesses.
All right,
I
so
don't know.
here's question number 3. Are you ready? What's your favorite weep?
Isaac asked these questions.
Isaac asked these questions. These are Isaac questions. Your brother.
These are pretty good
asking
questions.
questions.
These are weird.
So first, just tell the peeps who weeps are. Tell the peeps about weeps. What weep do you have?
So Isaac, a couple years ago,
got a
I
fuzz
don't
bug.
remember
I
how
got a
long
fuzz
it
bug.
was, but it was quite a while ago, and they're
Oh,
still
no.
here.
They're still
They're his
around.
imaginary friends. Well, he would get really
No,
mad
they're
at me if
not
I said
imaginary.
that. They're not imaginary because
They're
they're
weeps.
real. But they're his fist friends.
Yeah.
So
there's
he pretends
Fuzzbug
they talk.
and Choop and Baby Rainbow.
And my favorite is Pepsi,
Pepsi.
because Isaac created a weep that's my #1 fan. So Pepsi loves me.
Pepsi does.
Pepsi would.
I've seen Pepsi do lots of things for you. Pepsi's
Oh, yeah.
really nice.
I'll be like, Pepsi, or no, I'll be like, Isaac, can you get me some water? He'll be like, no. And then I'll be like, hey, Pepsi, can you get me some water? And he'll be like, yeah.
Anything for you. Evelyn.
So Pepsi's my number one fan.
Yeah, Pepsi. So Pepsi's also your favorite weep. Okay.
We play a game where if Pepsi's like bothering me, like going like all up in my face, I'll like hit him and he'll be like, "Are we playing hit the favorite weep?" And I'll be like, "Yeah," and I'll smack it.
My favorite is Baby Rainbow. Baby Rainbow's the original.
Baby Rainbow's the OG.
Yeah, Baby OG weep. You nailed it. OG weep. All right, next question. Why you gotta be so mega?
I don't know. I just am.
Why you gotta be so mega? So mega is the term that he uses when he thinks something is good.
Or
Something is
awesome.
Mega. Yeah.
He defines it as awesome.
How was that movie? It was mega. Why you gotta be so mega? That was the last question. You gotta be so mega because you love Pepsi.
Yeah.
I gotta be so mega because if I'm not mega, we lose Isaac. we lose him. All right, we got one more thing to do. We got our special guest to call in. So I got my phone here. I got a phone number, and we're making a phone call live on the podcast today.
I wonder if they'll
If
answer.
it works, great. If the person doesn't answer, we leave them a message, and that's that. This is your friend Tenny. I got your friend Tenny's phone number. We'll see. So first of all, she's got to pick up from a number she doesn't know. I don't think my phone number would be in her phone. So it's possible that like when we were coordinating for skiing or something.
I don't know.
But I doubt it.
I don't think so.
So we're going to try and call Tenny live on the podcast and see what happens. Here we go. All listeners, be ready. You never know when the podcast is going to call you. Here we go.
It's ringing.
It's ringing. It's going to be so anticlimactic if she doesn't answer. Hopefully she answers. Tenny, pick up, pick up,
Come on,
pick up,
Tenny.
pick up, 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 pick up.
60.
She declined it.
We're not going to broadcast her number all over the... She didn't decline it. It went to voicemail.
Is not available.
Okay. Oh, hey, Tenny. It's
hey.
Evelyn and Evelyn's dad, and you're live on the podcast, even though it's only your answering machine. Why didn't you pick up? Do you not have a phone? Did Evelyn not tell you that we were going to call? You were maybe supposed to know that we were going to call. Are you out at the ski hill? Is Brighton out at the ski hill with you? Is your dad out there? I haven't seen your dad in a long time. Is he out at the ski hill every day like he used to be? How is your mom doing? Hey, you guys got a new house. That new house rocks, I'll bet.
They're getting a puppy in.
You're getting a puppy? What kind of a puppy are you going to get? What are you going to name the puppy? What type of puppy is it? Is it like a puppy, or are you getting it from the Humane Society and it's going to be older? Are you going to train the puppy? Do you think Brighton will ever clean up after the puppy? Are you going to make your mom and dad clean up after the puppy? When you guys travel, is the puppy going to go in your car? Oh, I like it when puppies stick their faces out of the car into the air and they let their tongues wag or whatever. Are you going to let your puppy do that? Hey, call us back. Bye, Tenny. So for those podcast listeners that don't know, that's my thing with Tenny. I don't ever let Tenny get a word in edgewise. I pepper her with questions.
Oh yeah, I remember the first time
I've
he
been
did.
doing it for years.
Every time he sees Tenny, that's what he does. Or if we're on a call or anything, we used to like video chat all the time. Back when I didn't have a phone, and Dad would always peep in and ask her billions of questions.
Yeah. Most of the time I wait a little bit for an answer, but most of the time she doesn't give an answer, right? Like your friend Brooklyn the other night. Hi, Brooklyn. Hope you're watching, Brooklyn.
She's not.
Brooklyn just would not answer any question I had. I'd ask her a question, and she'd laugh, and she'd go away from the camera. And then I'd ask her another question, and she'd laugh. And then I asked her another question, and she moved the camera. And so I ended up...
she said, I don't know to each question.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. What's your favorite movie? I don't know. Do you have
She
a
was like,
favorite song?
I don't watch
no,
TV.
I don't know. Do you have one song that you've played recently? I don't know, right?
She listens to Megan Thee Stallion. I told
Oh,
you
that's
that.
right. You told me that, though. She didn't. Yeah. And so then we ended up playing the Beastie Boys song, No Sleep Till Brooklyn, for her. And that was it. So I've still not had a conversation with Brooklyn. So.
Remember,
And
she's been here before. She was the one last year at my birthday party that almost fainted.
I do remember. She got hit in the head or something?
Yeah, with a pool table pole stick.
She did.
It was right
She
on her
really
forehead.
got hit. I remember that now. That was the first time she'd ever been over at her house. I had never met her parents. She comes down, and a couple hours later, she comes up with a giant welt on her head, and I got to call her parents and say, your kid got nailed. We had a bar fight downstairs where she got hit by a pool cue. And
It wasn't on purpose, of course.
No, it wasn't on purpose, but I had to call the parents
Yeah.
and say, your kid got hit by a pool cue.
She was
and
running
she's gotta
around
go
like
home.
tumbling. She was almost fainting. She was about to. It was bad.
She got hit hard.
It was bad.
She got drilled. Yeah. Right on. Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm T,
And I mean.
and we'll see you soon.